Ashley Crawford back again during week 3. Um, Let me tell you something. This book is really incredible, and I really do feel like it is doing some really good things in my life already. Uh, this week, we were asked to read chapters 1 through 6, and then go a little farther in chapter 6 and discuss two boundary myths that either help us establish boundaries or block us from establishing boundaries. Um, the ones I want to talk about uh, really kind of flowed with chapter 3. Chapter 3 was such a big deal for me. I really enjoyed reading it, and that was boundary problems. So the first myth that I wanted to touch on was that boundaries are a sign of disobedience. Um, and that is a really big thing for me. I think I may have mentioned it in my first video post. I am a yes girl. And so there are times when it just pains me to say no, when times it should totally benefit me to say no, and instead I say yes. Um, One thing that was said in the book was, if you can't say no, you can't say yes. And I was like, that really has some truth to it. We say, or we're supposed to say yes with a loving, open heart. And when fear is involved, that blocks all of the love that there is no fear in love. And so that was my first one, was boundaries are a sign of disobedience. That is something that I need to overcome. And to do that, I think I just need to, when I have to say no, understand why I'm saying no, and then just look for and listen to God to make sure that that was the right decision and the right time for me to say no. The other boundary that I thought really affected me from, again, setting boundaries, is boundaries cause a feeling of guilt. Um, I spoke before on my friend who was battling addiction. I also have a sister who battles addiction. Um, and there were definitely times during their deep in their battles when a no from me would have not only helped them, but it would have helped me. However, in that moment, I just could not bring myself to say no out of guilt. A lot of the times it was guilt that something might happen to them if I say no, or when I say no, they'll go somewhere else and search for that yes. Um, so that's another thing that I am praying about and trying to overcome. And I tell you what, this has been so incredibly helpful. I'm looking into getting the workbook that goes along with this, just so that I can continue to grow and set boundaries. So yes, I have picked boundaries are a sign of disobedience, and boundaries cause feeling of guilt, and I am learning that that is in fact both of those are